morning, everybody, and welcome along to One Hub Racing Season 28. And yes, we are back. Everyone has had a break week, and hopefully all the drivers are raring to go for round number 5 of the championship at the Hungaroring. I know I'm excited to get going, so I'm sure you viewers are as well. My name is Jess Ball. As always, I am joined by Mr. Colin R. Mason. Colin, how you doing?
Morning, Jess. Morning, all. We are back. We had a week break, obviously, for Mother's Day in the UK, but we are back racing in One Hub, and we've got Hungary to deal with.
Yes, of course. We like to call Hungary Monaco without the barriers because A, it's difficult to overtake, and B, it's quite a narrow track to negotiate with, and it's always hard on the tyres at times as well, but not as much as other tracks. How do you feel about this circuit, Carl? And what do you think is going to be the challenge for our drivers?
I love this track, but it is very difficult to overtake. So qualifying is going to be very, very important, especially if it's raining, because the drivers aren't going to get DRS to aid them in their overtakes. So qualifying is going to be crucial around here. I would say this track is the most important track on the calendar to get a good qualifying.
Yes, I agree. If you do not have a good qualifying, well, chance of you having a good race is slim to none, unless you could pull some overtakes in towards turn number 1. However, if you're not sure still on how to do a lap around the Hungaroring, we had Kevin who did a hot lap for us, and he's going to show us how we took the Hungaroring circuit. Hello everyone, we are back after our break week, and it's time for round number 5 of the One Hub Racing Championship at the Hungaroring. This lap is sponsored by Sim Racing Setups. Turn 1 is a heavy braking zone, one of the few overtaking spots. Make sure you brake late, down into 3rd gear. Aim for the right hand side on the exit as we enter the DRS zone. As you enter turn number 2 now, be patient on the throttle and short shift down into 3rd gear. If you don't do either of these, this could lead to understeer. Turn 3, flat out if you position the car correctly. Stay tight as you enter turn number 4, very fast and tricky. Clip the inside curb in 6th gear, but avoid running wide. Turn 5, make sure you aim for the right hand side, and now for the left as you enter the turn 6 and turn 7 chicane. Quick change direction, ride the curb slightly, but don't overdo it. As you enter turns 8 and 9 now, balance is key. Hit both apexes and maintain position as much as you can. Stay flat as possible through these next set of corners. Slight lift may be required, but you'll probably lose quite a bit of time. Now you'll be entering the final sector. Clip the right hand side curve in 3rd gear, 4th, 5th, and then down into 3rd gear again, and keep as tight line as you possibly can. And you'll be entering the final corner. Aim for the right hand side in 4th gear. Start finish straight we come, and that is a lap around the Hungaroring.
Drop to P20.
So here we go then. That was how you took a lap around the Hungaroring for this afternoon. Hopefully it gave you a little bit more of an idea. And we know with Kevin he's going to be quick anyway. So that's my prediction for pole already in P1. There you go. Got one of my predictions out the way. Kevin pole for P1. But we'll talk about P1 a little bit later on, because like we usually do, we like to start with the lower divisions. And let's go to P4 first of all, and they're getting better and better every week. I always like watching them, and it is very close at the top of the championship, including our championship leader Jack Craig, who's celebrating his 400th race in league racing this evening. So imagine if he goes to Hungary and gets a good result out of it. I can't even count how many races I've done, so fair play.
Yeah, that's impressive. I think I've done about 220. I think Dad is very similar looking at the stats. But 400 races, wow, that's impressive. Obviously must have been doing it for quite a few years. So will that experience of 400 races help him this afternoon?
Yes, at Silverstone, he got another podium, which I have to say was very impressive. The lowest he has finished in the championship so far was P6 in round number 3, which was Australia, but still it was a great result for him. But last time out, when we were at Silverstone, Reaper took his first ever race victory, and he's joint on points with Jamie in the McLaren as well. So that's going to be an interesting battle. Jamie did quite well in Silverstone too. And we got other drivers that are nipping at the hills. We've got Crawford as well in 5th place, Gamer James in 6th. And we've got Shiesty, who has been very unlucky the last few races, hasn't he? 11th place in Australia and 10th in Silverstone. Surely needs to pick himself up ready for Hungary because his teammate and his nearest championship rivals are scoring more points than him at the moment.
Yeah, exactly that. And of course, Jamie there up in 2nd place as well for McLaren. So he's going to want to, increase his performances over the last couple of races to help in the constructors as well. But look how close it is. Top 3, just 2 points in it. Jamie, like you said, I think he took his engine penalty at Silverstone and came back up to 4th. Which is brilliant. Now, the advantage that Jamie's got, he's taken both his gearbox and his engine, so he's not going to be having any car wear penalties now. He's done. So he's putting himself in a fantastic position. But this is another tier where you can see consistency is rewarded. Jack, he's had 2 podiums, no victories, yet he's leading the title by 2 points.
Yeah. And he was so close to a podium in Austria as well. So it shows that he has the pace in general. He might not have the qualifying pace, but race pace he's got up in space. And race pace is what gets you points and prizes. And we saw that with Robin Probber many seasons ago where he won without even getting a victory. So maybe we could see that again this season or even next season. Any drivers that made your mark outside of that bracket? Because Curly, who is one of our new commentators to P3 tier, by the way, having a very strong season. The last 2 races, he finished P5. But he could have been higher without that penalty.
Yeah, fun enough, I was going to mention Curly because in Britain, he really should have had a podium. But of course, he got that 10-second time penalty in the pit lane, which really hurt him. But he's getting better and better. I can see him challenging for podium again this afternoon.
I think so as well. He seems really confident going into this one, as does quite a few drivers as well. So Curly, keep an eye on. Joel, he was another driver. We highlighted him in the steward's office. He got very unlucky with the instance he was in, and without those instances, he could have got higher up as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is where, bad luck and, small errors are costing these drivers now, because near the top it is so close. But I just can't believe how close this title is. There is only 13 points between the top 6, which is so close. And, James, Shiesty, Jake, Curly, they are all capable, and Joel Flats, they are all capable of getting on the podium and scoring victories. If they can, almost turn around their season a bit. I mean, Flats got very, very unfortunate. If you watched the Steward stream on Friday, you'd see that he got taken out at Silverstone with the other driver getting a 10-second penalty. I believe, no, I think it was 20. Excuse me. So he was sitting in a fantastic place. Unfortunately, he got a bit of bad luck, but it is so close. Luck, unfortunately, is going to play its part.
Yes, there's some drivers that have had really bad luck throughout the season, and there's many drivers that have had good luck and are being consistent. We do have a new driver that has just joined the league last night. I can't even pronounce his name, so I do apologise if I say Maj Kellis V21. I'm sorry, I pronounced it wrong. He's going to be in the hat with Ivan for the rest of the season. Of course, it's hard to join midway through the season, but since it's round number 5 and with it being so close at the top, even if he joins mid-season and has a good rest of the season, he could be up there for the title as well. So it is not over for the new driver and for anyone that's having a horrific season, because they could still climb their way to near the top of this championship.
Yeah, and the good thing is with Madge is that he has done a couple of races in the realistic performance league that we have running every Thursday. So he understands, the 100 rules, and a couple of the drivers here that he's racing against, Jamie for one. So he will have a little bit of an idea of what to expect.
Yes, he knows the league, he knows mechanics, I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. And with many drivers that could be up there, he could be up there as well, because he's similar pace to Jamie, I would say. But as you can see from the lineups, there is still one space in the P4 tier. So if you are new to league racing, just getting used to racing in general, then P4 tier is a place to be. Sign up, and we could get you a space for tonight to race in a P4 tier at 3 o'clock. Well, it's not tonight, is it? It's this afternoon. But we have Mr. Evil Dragon and Papa Squanch in the commentary box. What we like usually to do in this part of the show is to make our predictions for each tier. So starting with P4, who's our pole sitter and who do you think is our top 3? Well, we have not done well at all, apart from Kevin in P1, where I predicted for pole almost every single week, and he's got it. So we need to up our game, because every time we predict someone, 9 times out of 10, they have a horrific race, or we place them one position higher than where they finish. So come on, Cole, we got to do better than this. Who's our pole and top 3?
Right, let's nail it this time. Right, pole position for me. I'm going to go Joel Flats for pole position today.
Oh, you nicked my prediction.
Yes. Now, my top 3. I'm going to say Joel Flats wins the race.
If he doesn't get involved in an incident.
Yes. I'm then going to go Jack in second, and Jamie in third place. That's my top 3.
I was also going to predict Joel Flats for pole position, but I'm going to change that because it's unfair otherwise. I'm going to predict Reaper for pole position, and I'm going to predict Joel for the win, Reaper in second, and I'm going to predict Shiesty in third. So that is
nice.
My prediction. Different, yes, but these things happen. So I didn't want to do the same as Colin, because otherwise we feel like we're cheating. So if any of the drivers we predicted have horrific races today, we are so sorry. So yeah, and Riley's saying in the chat that he's good in the rain. So if it rains, maybe he could be up there. We don't know. I think if it rains, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. If it rains, I don't think any one of my top 3 is going to win that one. I think it could be Jack that wins if it rains, because he said to me he's good in the wet. So if it rains at some point during the race, I think Jack's going to take the victory.
Ooh, that's going to be that's the thing. We're thinking about the dry, and some of these drivers are definitely going to perform better or worse in the rain.
Exactly. Let's move on to the P3 tier then. And again, we're still looking for 2 drivers to join in that tier. So if you feel like you're the pace of the P3 drivers, make sure you do sign up as well. And I'm very impressed with Welsh Benjamin this season. Takes up the championship lead. And even though he had a horrific start to the Silverstone race last time out, which I remember was really horrific, he managed to climb his way back up into P5. And with his teammate getting a 10-second time penalty, this is going to be almighty between the Alpines. And it's still all so close with the rest of the tier. So again, if people have had horrific races in this tier, it is still not over. And I'm trying to get the standings up, but my display capture isn't working. There we go, got it working now. But here's your standings then. But what's impressed me, I was gutted with how my race went, to be fair. But since I took about a day to recover, I was really happy that for Mikey to get his first ever podium in one hub racing. I was just over the moon. It's his first season on the wheel as well. He could be a championship threat this season. I'm calling it. He has done a terrific job.
Yeah, he drove so well. But what really amazes me about this tier, this is the same as P4. The driver leading the championship hasn't won a race yet, which is amazing. And shows how consistency is so important. Now, there were a couple of drivers who had horrendous luck last time out at Silverstone. Jess, yourself, Ivor, Bryn, Mike. Dad was on for a certain top 5 6 at worst.
Joe, but he's still got P6.
Joe still got P6. You know, look at the consistencies Joe's got. 6, 6, 5, 6. Let's hope that, you know, yourself, Mike, and as in Ivor Bryn, Mike, and Dad don't get such horrendous luck this time out. Just one of those things that happens. Bit of an EA issue. But I think this race, you know, this is a lot different to Silverstone. It's going to be so important qualifying. You know, we said at the start of the stream how crucial qualifying is going to be, especially if it's in the wet. But look how close this title is. This is like, you know, I mean, Mikey, he is really, you can see over the last couple of races that he has got used to the wheel. Same with Joe. I wouldn't, you know, Mikey's got a chance of getting even closer to the top in this title now.
I agree. I 100% agree on that one. And I think he could get a win this season. I'm calling it right now because he could have a situation where the weather plays a part and he gets the right strategy where everyone else doesn't, and then he goes on and win the race, or he's just brilliant on pace in general as well. So I'm excited to see how Mikey does. And Joe, a dead Joe, I would like to see his luck come round, because ever since after Austria, he got that win in Austria, and then after that, he was like me and has had horrific luck. Not as much bad luck as me, but he's had bad luck. So we'll see how he does. Marshall getting another podium, which I have to say, really well done to him. He's climbing his way up the championship. Head Chris, who got a podium in Austria, but got horrific luck as well in Silverstone. He's got 11th. Now, Josh did win the race last time in Silverstone, but because he was too quick, he is moved up. And since P2 is full, he's on the waiting list. And when P2 opens up, then he gets the next available spot. So that's what we had to do, unfortunately. He was very understanding about it, bless him. And it's what we had to do to make the championship close. Because, to be honest, he was nowhere near the next place car in the qualifying, which was Bonyfish. I think he was like 3 or 4 tenths slower than Josh.
Yes. And he would have done very, very well in P3 as well. I think he would have won the P2 race, actually, or at least been near the front of it as well.
Yeah.
So it was the right decision to move him straight away, no messing. And like you said, unfortunately, he is on the waiting list because P2 is full. But this is why it is so important, and I can't stress this enough. It is so important for drivers when they are submitting time trials to make sure it's representative. You know, doing 3 or 4 laps in TT and go, there you go. That's not representative time. And in my mind, that is sandbagging and therefore cheating. I am very, very hard on this. This is a bugbear of mine. And this is why it's so important. Because it's unfair on the other drivers. It's unfair on the league, it's unfair on the commentators, and it's unfair on the spectators.
It's not. It's unfair on anyone, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, this is why it's so important that you do a representative time. And, you know, doing a handful of TT laps is not helpful.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And, I mean, at least Joe was Josh, but they both began with J. At least Josh was understanding when we told him, sorry, you're too quick, you're going to have to wait for a bit. He was fine with it. He understand, and he saw the P2 times, and he was like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
but there was a certain driver, which I'm not going to name, because he's probably listening, that was just like, oh, that's unfair, but... And he's left the league. So there you go. So it just shows one driver understands it, and then there's one driver that doesn't. But there we go. So people saying that the top 10 could realistically win the title. I don't know. It's gonna be close. It could be anyone's game. any one of those drivers in the championship could get rotten luck, and it could be the guys near the bottom that could get good luck and climb their way up the championship as well. So it is not over. And Alpine, I have to say, are definitely my pick for the constructors at the moment. 40 points clear of everybody else. They've been the class of the field throughout the season. Brilliant job. It is a strong team, those two. And as Welsh Benjamin said, Viva la Alpine.
Yeah, they're having an absolute blinding start to the season. 40 points clear. But, you know, the longer this season goes on, those two Alpine drivers, they're going to go from, oh, let's work together for the constructors, to, we're in the title hunt here. I want to beat you. So, you know, the teamwork will probably end rather quickly, I would say.
We've seen that in plenty of other championships in One Hub's history where they worked together at the start of the season, and then when they were both in the title fight, boom, chaos let loose. So let's hope we don't have the same today, or at all this season, but we'll see if any teams can make a charge to Alpine this season for the P3 tier. But let's get our predictions in for P3, and again, we always get bad luck with this one. So, Colin, starting with you, who's your pole and who's your top three? You're probably going to predict the same as me.
So my pole position, I'm going to go bony fish for pole.
Damn it!
That is like... Get it. Now, my top three is completely different. So, my punt for the victory is Jessica Ball.
Oh, shut up.
That's my punt for a win.
I'm going to get a bad result now, Colin. You said it now.
No. I have every faith. In second place, I'm going to go with Welsh Benjamin. And in third place, Ivor Bryn Mike.
Ooh.
That's my top three.
Okay. I was going to predict Bony Fish for pole position. I'm tempted to stick that, actually. You know what? I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking with Bony Fish's pole position. I've seen what he's done in practice in qualifying, and he's quick. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Bony Fish pole position. Oh, it's going to be a tough one, I think, on who's going to be top three, I think, for me. But I think it's going to be Bony Fish for the win, Welsh Benjamin in second, and I'm going to predict... Oh, this is going to be... I'm going to predict Marshall for P3. But if it rains, I think Ride Dog is going to take the victory.
Oh, wow.
Because he's good in the wet before. He's proven that in many P3 races last season. So there you go. Does your prediction change if it rains? Probably yes. But I think Ride Dog will get the win if it rains, not Bony Fish.
I think my prediction for the rain will be the same top three in a different order.
Mike first.
Mike first.
I thought so. So it'll basically be flipped. I think. I'm guessing it'll be flipped.
Could be. Mike. He's not very happy about this. Mike, have faith, my man. Have some faith.
Yeah, have some faith, everybody, that we predicted you. And but yeah, that's our predictions. We do have someone, Colin, who is waiting to speak to us. We only got one person that's gonna speak to us today, and I'll let you do this one, Colin. It is someone that had a good result last time out in Silverstone. So let's get Mikey in to the commentary box. Mikey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Yay! Let's go. Over to you, Cole.
Morning, Mike. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very, very good. You had a tremendous race last week. Absolutely brilliant. Brought yourself into a title hunt. So how are you getting used to the wheel? Do you feel as though you're performing better with the wheel over the controller now?
Yeah, I think it's getting better. I've had a lot of help from a lot of drivers. I don't know if they want to be named, so I won't at the moment, but I've got a few people coaching me, so that's helping a bit. But yeah, I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, like I think I I've said it on a few streams previous that when you transfer to wheel, yes, it might take a while to get used to it, but that performance ceiling is dramatically increased, and that's showing. You got a bit unlucky in round 2, but a 4th and a 2nd in the last 2 races. You're only 17 points off Welsh Benjamin at the top of the table. Do you think you can win this title, Mikey?
If today goes well, I reckon I'll win it, because this is my worst track by. There's no competition, so I think if I can manage it today, well, it's on. Yeah, I think so.
Nice. So what's your target for today? Is it simply decent points, or are you hoping to get another podium?
Not crash out would be a start. I think quali. Do I jinx it? If it's dry, I think I'm going to get pole position.
Oh wow!
Let's go.
Race. I've not done a race without crashing yet, so just to get to the end would be good. I think that'll be the target, to be honest.
I love your confidence, Mikey, for qualifying. I predict qualifying is going to be quite close in P3 this afternoon.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. Now, Mike, are you hoping for dry, or do you want a bit of rain?
Rain.
Dry. No, if it's rain, I'm gonna. Oh, don't. Yeah, mixed conditions is all right, but yeah, if it's full wet, oh God knows what's gonna happen. Anyone's race.
Well, we will find out very, very soon. Mike, best of luck for tonight. Hope you have a good race, and if you want to tune in and watch Mike go and get pole in the dry, tune in at 4:30. Our commentators will be Lawrence and our new commentator, Curly.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Good luck to yourselves as well.
Thanks, Mike. Take it easy,
Mikey.
mate.
Right.
Right, so there we go then. Mikey for pole position in P3 tier. Well, wouldn't that be amazing, Carl?
That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be awesome to see? But it's going to be difficult. You know, this tier is very, very tight. And the weather's going to make a big difference, you know. The weather that I'm hoping is that it starts off wet and goes to dry in qualifying. That's my favourite one.
That's what I'm hoping.
Because it's a mad dash at the end, and it's almost one-shot qualifying right at the end of the session. But we will have to wait and see what that's going to be.
That's what I'm hoping for qualifying is wet to dry, because that's always fun for commentators and for drivers as well, because you've got to go for your gut feeling. But let's go then and talk about the P2 tier then, which is the tier after the P3 tier. Duh. But we have another stat grid at the moment, and we've had different race winners throughout the season, and I'll try and get the standings up on my screen whilst you see the lineup. But as you can see, this tier is full and everyone has been looking so good. But look at P4 and P3 were close. I'm sorry, we're not going to say the same for P2. Look at the gap at the top. Loads of points are separating P1 and P2 right now. Jacob has not finished anywhere below third. That's insane.
Yeah, it is astonishing. He has had luck on his side the last 2 races where he hasn't actually. So the last race in Silverstone, he crossed the finish line in second. Unfortunately for Kinney, he got a 10-second penalty in the pit lane, which
I was gutted.
Which cost Kinney his first race. The previous race, Kinney had a penalty as well, which promoted Jacob. But let's not forget, we saw this in P2 last season. Papa Squanch won the first couple of rounds. Everyone was saying it's all done and dusted. Papa's going to win. It's all about who comes second. And Morgan put a fight back up and clinched the title. This is not over. Yes, it's a big lead at this moment. But one-up history tells you that it ain't over yet. Not by a long way.
Definitely not. And you definitely made a good example of what happened last season between Papa Squanch and Morgan. So just because Kinney's P2 at the moment, it doesn't mean he could not pull off a challenge. He's still got a race victory in him. He said in his pre-race interview that he wants a podium, but I think he's going to try and aim higher than that. So, Kinney, I would expect higher expectations for you, my friend. Mokri had a good result last time out, P5. There were many drivers, again, who got unlucky. Lukey, Salau. Even though Salau's P3 in the championship, by the way, his bad season is P3 in the P2 championship, which I have to say is insane. But I know he wants a much better race this time out. I'm just trying to pick who else has had a good result. Alexa got a good result in Silverstone. Zonto got a P4. I'm trying to remember who got P2. No, yeah, it was Kinney. It was Kinney. But Kermit was up there as well. There's plenty of drivers that could be up there on their day as well. And P2 was very clean last week.
It was. It was very clean throughout all the tiers, to be fair. We only had, if you tuned into the Friday stream, we only had 3 incidents in 4 tiers, which is fantastic and a lot better than previous weeks. So let's hope that continues for the rest of the season, because, you know, we don't want to be giving penalties out week in, week out.
Definitely not.
We want the results to be determined on the track and not in the steward's room. But what I find astonishing in this tier, yes, Jacob's got a great lead at this moment, but there's 9 points covering 2nd to 6th. I mean, which is nutty. This is, you know, I feel as though none of those drivers really are probably happy with where they are.
Apart from Jacob.
Apart from Jacob, really. Kinney probably, you know, Kinney's thinking, I should have won the last 2 races, really. Salah's thinking, well, what happened after round 1? I've not even got a top 5. Mokwi, round 3 was a disaster for him, where he only finished 14th. Lukey has got tremendous race pace, but
he was
really
unlucky.
Yeah, and he's really struggling with qualifying at the minute as well. But yet again, you know, still all in the top 10. Larkin, who has had, I mean, I've never known a driver to have so much bad luck as Larkin this season. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the first race he managed to get up to 3rd gear, and that was about it.
It's good. It is bad luck with a P4 in round 2 and a P3 in round 3, which is probably better than some other drivers this season.
Yes, and, you know, it is still so close because, you know, look, Larkin's only 13 points off Kinney in 2nd place. There's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, still a long way to go. Still plenty of drivers that could be up there. Alfie got unlucky last time out. He was up there and had the pace. Chris, who got hardly any points last time out. I think most people finished that race, so he was near the back anyway. And, of course, Jonas and Waite, he didn't have a good race either. So plenty of drivers are still looking for redemption in this tier. And, well, this is going to be interesting. But it's now time for our predictions for P2. And it's going to be a tough one, this one. I was almost certain with my predictions in the P2. I'm going to go first so that I could get my pole position out of the way. But we can predict the same because that's what I did in P3. So, P2, I think my pole position is going to be... I think it's going to be Jacob. But I think Kinney's going to take the win. Jacob's going to get 2nd, and Mokwi's going to get 3rd. I've not seen any of the drivers practice, so this has gone on from gut instinct. So, Carl, what about you?
So, my pole position's actually Kinney. I think Kinney is going to get pole. I think Jacob will win the race. I think Salah will come 2nd, and I think Lukey will get his first podium of the season in 3rd.
Right, if any of those drivers have bad luck, it's all on you, Carl. But that is our...
Oops.
discussion on the P2 tier at the moment, and you can catch Mike and Ivan at 6 p.m. UK time as they take you through the Hungaroring around a wet Hungaroring, I hope. Please, honestly, if it's dry again, I'm just gonna get so frustrated with myself. Yes, I'm not good at the rain, but I would rather have a wet Hungary than a wet Jeddah or Bahrain or Japan or whatever. So, Hungary, I think, will be better in the rain than any other tracks, let's just say. So, let's go to the P1 tier then, as we have no one to speak to us in the P2 tier. So, last time out was a really fun race to cover around Silverstone. Kevin won his second race of the season, and Lakitu got his second P2 of the season. And again, that gap is not as big as P2 tier, but still around 20 points separating first and second. And Kevin's impressed me, but also Lakitu has definitely found his form now after the last few races. I'm very impressed with Lakitu, and let's just hope he can keep this up.
Yes, he's also been quite unfortunate as well. He got a mistimed safety car, which really hurt him as well. So he hasn't had luck on his side either, in all fairness. But Kevin having a great start to the season. You know, his worst position is second, which is astonishing, really. 2 seconds, 2 firsts. Can he continue that in Hungary? We will have to wait and see. But it's at this point now that Lakitu and Marco, they have to put a bit of a title defense down now. They're going to have to show Kevin that it's not easy for him to win these races. Unfortunately, Marco only managed 11th in Silverstone, which really hurt him. And that was his first time off the podium as well.
Yeah, it was a shame because he was consistent all throughout. I believe he was either P2 or leading the championship, and he just dropped down to third place. That is how a horrific race could just change the championship quite significantly and allow Lakitu to gain a position on you. Alex finished 5th, but he could have been up there if luck went his way. I have to say, the driver that impressed me last time out was Casper, because Casper had some really great battles. You could tell he's had a lot of fun last time out as well. Him and Callum worked very well together, and it was great to see luck finally going his way. Yes, he didn't get the win, but he was just relieved that luck went his way, and he had a lot of fun in the process. The lowest he's finished his 14th was in Austria, but that was when he was unwell. But apart from that, he's had a 6th, and a 3rd. That's pretty good going.
Yeah, it's round 2 was a bit of a disaster for him, but you know, that's still 2 6ths and a 3rd in this class of field is tremendous for Casper, and that's, you know, helping McLaren, you know, with Callum just 5 points ahead, helping them in the constructors.
Yep, it is. And we know how Casper does well in the constructors before. Maybe that could happen again as well. Craggy made his return to One Hub Racing a couple of weeks ago when we were at Silverstone, and I was looking at his pre-race interview, Cole. He was very happy with a 4th place for the same reason, because I don't think he had a good qualifying, but he had a very good race. And there's drivers to me that say, oh, I'm happy with 4th in a tier so stat. And that's just amazing to me, because Craggy used to be a P1 champion, but he's happy with 4th place. It just amazes me that people can change expectations based on the calibre of drivers. But it's great to see that Craggy's enjoying this tier.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, he's a past champion from a couple of seasons ago, a P1 champion where he was fighting Senna. So we know what he's capable of, and that's a good start for him in 4th. That is a good start. It's probably too much of a stretch for him to challenge the top 3 this season, having missed the first 3 races. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, other people that are ahead of him could have bad luck for all we know. But it is quite close between himself and, say, Epic the Animal, so we could be up there maybe in the top 5, so it's not over from yet as well. Of course, Senna making a reappearance again, and Owen Wyatt, unfortunately, he did race this season, but due to work commitments, I believe he has dropped out, so there is a space in the P1 tier for the rest of the season. So if you are interested and you are top tier pace at One Hut Racing to compete with Arnold in the Alpine, then make sure you sign up and submit a lap time around Spain, and we will love to see someone see if they could try and match up to a lot of people in this championship. So here we go. I could tell you there's one space in the P1 tier, so if you want to have a go, basically. And I know there's certain drivers that would love to be up there. So let's get our predictions in for P1. And we all know who's going to get pole. So it's going to be Kevin. If it's not Kevin, I'm going to cry. Well, not cry, but it is going to be interesting to see who else gets pole. But yeah, I'm going to predict Kevin for pole. And I'm going to go... Actually, Cole, you predict your pole and top three. I'll go for my top three in a minute.
Okay, so my pole position, I'm going to go with Craggy. I think Craggy...
Hey.
I remember him from racing with him around Hungary a couple of seasons ago, and he was so rapid. So I'm going to go with a Craggy pole and a Craggy victory as well. So
Ooh.
that's in second place. That I think will go to Kevin, and in third place, I'm going to go with Senna. I just got a feeling that Senna's going to have a good race here.
Hey, that is good. That is a good prediction. So I'm going to stick with a Kevin pole, but I'm not going to have a Kevin victory. I'm going to go with Lakitu is going to get the victory. I think Kevin second, and I'm going to be bold here, and he's going to hate me for this, but it's not you, Cole, don't worry. I'm going to predict it's their home Grand Prix. I think Axelot's going to get a podium at his home race.
Oh, wow.
I know it's bold, but strange things have happened, Cole. What do you think?
Let's go for it. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. You know, he had great pace around Silverstone. You know, wasn't too far off the leaders. He's very, very good around this track. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be difficult. You know, but you know that if it's raining, that could be that could be the turning point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would win if it was raining, but I have no idea because I haven't seen much of those drivers in the wet around here, so I have no idea. But let's just hope Colin has a good race this week because he's getting better. Let's just say. But Riley saying Colin would win in the wet. You sure about that? Or does he?
That's brave call.
Or is it too much sweat? We don't know. But anyway, that was P1 tier, and you can catch myself as Jamie at 7:30 p.m. UK time as we take you through the P1 tier around Hungary. Now, car wear. We've had quite a lot of drivers that decided, they're going to take their engine or gearbox penalties around Hungary, which I'm a bit shocked about because it's hard to overtake around Hungary. So I am a bit shocked, but I'm going to say that before Colin goes through them. No one in P2 has taken an engine or gearbox penalty this week. No one in P2 is going to be all guns blazing. That's going to be easy for Lukey to sort out the grid. So Lukey has the easiest job out of all the tier coordinators. But Colin, can you take us through the West? Who has got car wear penalties in P1, P3 and P4?
So we'll start off with P4. So there are 6 drivers in P4 taking their car learn to count. Yeah. Now I'm really surprised by this. I'm really shocked because this is a notoriously difficult track to overtake, especially if there's rain. But the drivers taking a gearbox penalty in P4 is Jack, Curly, Fox, Shiesty, and Helvetica.
That makes sense.
Now, 5 places for gearbox, don't forget, so not too bad. But Reaper has decided to take his engine.
Oh.
And so that's 10 places. So that's That's a big call for Reaper,
I
and a
wouldn't
big
have gone
call
for
to take your
engine.
in. No, I don't think I would have done.
I wouldn't have gone if I had no choice but to take it here. I would take a gearbox, because I think the only reason why people might have taken a gearbox penalty here is if they're confident in qualifying and they're still going to start in a relatively decent position. So, say if you think you're going to get pole, the best you can start is 6th. So, if you get pole here with a gearbox penalty, that's probably a win-win for you, because you're going to still start in a decent position anyway. Anyway, carry on, Cole. Who's got penalties in P3?
Now, so P3, Bony Fish is taking a gearbox. So if he does qualify pole, he will start at best in 6th place. Mason's taking an engine. Now, I actually tried to persuade him not to do it here, but he felt as though he wasn't very quick here. So he's decided to take an engine, and Jason has taken an engine in P3 as well.
Well, I think, again, engine, why around this track? Gearbox, I can understand, but only Fish is looking quick around here. So I think out of all the picks I've seen for car wear penalties, I think Bony Fish is chosen really well, because he is quick around here and he's quick in qualifying. And if there's trouble up front, Bony Fish could pick up the pieces. So I think Bony Fish has made the right decision for that one. But anyway, P1, there's 3 people taking car wear penalties. Who are they?
So we have Casper and Kevin taking a gearbox. Very interesting. And Curry is taking an engine penalty. So I'm really surprised so many drivers are taking their engine penalties here, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, me too. And don't forget, for those of you that are brand new to One Hub or need a reminder, you have to take at least 1 engine penalty and 1 gearbox penalty this season. And you can't take it both at the same time. And even if you join midway through the season, or even if you haven't done the full season, you will have to do it by the end of the season. Failure to do that, you will get points deductions, which don't just affect the drivers, it also affects the constructors. So say if you've already taken your penalty, you got to pretty much speak to your teammate and say, right, when you're going to take that, yours. So they have a reminder of when they're going to take theirs. But luckily, quite a lot of people remembered already, but there's still... I haven't taken mine yet, but I've already decided where I'm taking mine, so I've already got it planned, so I'm not going to forget. Don't worry, I've been there for many seasons, but yeah, I've already decided where I'm taking mine, and I'm not going to change it. I'm going to stick to it, but all will be revealed. Well, I'm not going to say when, because it will kind of give it away, really. But yeah, Hungary maybe not the best place to take it, but if you want to, if you think you're going to get pole position, and it's probably smart to take a gearbox.
Yes. And if you also think that you're going to qualify near the back anyway,
you could take
then
an engine.
It might be worth it. If you think you're that slow around here compared to the other drivers in your tier. But I'm still surprised. I got to be honest. I'm shocked that so many have decided to take it here.
Yeah, me too. I think there's there's a few tracks in particular where I think we could see quite a lot of people taking theirs. So watch this space on that one, I think. But Nick says, hi, Cole. And he also says he can't wait to take Lukey out tonight if he races.
You get 10 seconds removed from your time if you do that, by the way, by the stewards.
There we go, Nick. Did you hear that? But right, so we have got the car wear all sorted, and it's now time to do the all-important thing. What will the weather be? And we have not had any rain, and if we do not have rain here, I'm gonna cry, which means we'll probably have rain in like Jeddah, which is I just can't imagine having rain at Jeddah. Okay, so please let it rain at some point in Hungary. I don't care when, I just need rain. But Colin, can you do a reminder on how it all works?
Yes, so here at One Hub Racing, we use an adaptive weather system. So we have various scenarios for qualifying and the race. That can range from perfectly clear to overcast to light rain to heavy rain. We don't use full rain for the entire race, as those races tend to be very, very dull. So this is one of the reasons why we introduced this. And then each week, then we will use the wheel. That will determine that particular scenario for that race or that qualifying session, and then that gets removed. So we have removed a lot of the dry weather for the first couple of rounds. Is tonight going to be rain? Jess, over to you. Let's find out.
Here we go then. Let's start with qualifying, which I think we already said what we want the weather to be. We want it to be wet to dry, right? We want it to be wet to dry? Well, that'll be fun. So let's hope that happens. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to cry. So here's the wheel, as you can see on your screen, and let's go. So the wheel is going to be... overcast to light cloud. Right, I'm going to kill myself here.
Wow.
Why are we not getting a wet qualifying? This is ridiculous. But that does mean that makes qualifying even more important because it's going to be a dry qualifying, so...
Yes. So that's qualifying dry for the drivers.
Oh,
what about the race?
I'm just fed up right now. I'm just tempted to rig it. I'm tempted to rig it, Carl, so it could be raining at the race. Like, can I do that? Am I allowed to do that, Nick? Can I rig the wheel so it rains? And can I just decide the weather here and now? There's going to be a dry to wet race, please. But anyway, I can't do that. I'll get told off. But here we go then. Let's see then what the weather is going to be for the race, and we'll see what happens. Let's spin the wheel. And it is going to be overcast to light cloud to overcast. I think we're just destined for dry at this point. This is ridiculous. Right, can I, Nick? I wanna rig the wheel for it to be raining. This is unfair. This is ridiculous.
This is mad. This is crazy. It just means that we're going to get a lot of wet affected sessions in a row. Towards the end of the season as well, when drivers are fighting for the championship. So that's going to be very interesting.
I'm a bit shocked actually that we haven't had any wet affected sessions yet. Are you, Carl?
Yeah, I'm really, really surprised because this time last season, I think we had at least 3 or 4 wet affected sessions, but have not at all had any weather of the rain scenario yet. But now this is a thing. Now this is going to help the drivers who have taken their engine penalties because they're going to get DRS in the race.
Exactly. And there might be some people that were hoping for rain and they've taken an engine penalty because they're probably going to be slow anyway. So they're probably going to be gutted for that. But let's go for our sponsors before we wrap up for this evening. And I'm going to cry in the corner because we haven't had rain yet. But let's start off with Delta.app. You could use all your investments in one app. And if you use the code or the command !Delta in the chat, you can make smart decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success with Delta. You can use the link in the chat, or you could, if you're watching this back on YouTube, you could click the link in the description. Also, we have got Sim Racing Setups who are providing a discount if you use the code OneHubRacing at checkout, and their setups are on sale at the moment, so you're going to get a huge discount. I think about 34 quid you'll only pay for that, which is insane. So if you're looking for setups for tonight around Hungary, make sure you get them. And there's also prizes for driver of the day, then driver of the seasons as well. I do believe, because I got mine the other day, every single driver has got driver of the day this season has received their voucher, their £10 voucher. So that they might put towards setups for F1 25, or maybe the DLC potentially. They could save it up for that. We will see. Next level racing, plenty of prizes on offer, but that's all to be confirmed. Pure Sim Gear, they're providing some gloves and socks for the Speedster Award, and there's also a 10% off code by using the code OHR10P. Our partners Vespertine that support our apparel, merchandise and prizes, and also to SimGrid, our final partners. Without SimGrid, there'll be Google Forms to fill out and spreadsheets, and it'll be an absolute nightmare. The drivers will be about to getting ready for their lunch, and everybody, including ourselves, will be getting some practice in. Colin, any final thoughts before we all wrap up?
Just good luck to everyone. Have a good race. Don't forget, some drivers might be a little bit rusty, having not raced for a week, or for 2 weeks.
Including me.
So just bear that in mind, but I hope everything goes well for everyone, and good luck, and I shall be tuning in to the P4 tier at 3 o'clock.
There you go. The times are on your screen. P4 at 3 o'clock with Liam and Papa. P3 at 4:30 with Lawrence and Curly. P2 at 6 p.m. with Mike and Ivan. And P1 tier at 7:30 with myself and Jamie. So, I've just seen Mike's comment in the chat. On that bombshell, thank you all for watching. We will see you for the first stream at 3 o'clock. And take care, everyone. Best of luck. And will we get new winners this season tonight in terms of winning their first ever One Hub race? We'll have to wait and see. I hope that happens. I want to see maiden winners in all 4 tiers. That'll be amazing. I know who I want to win in each tier. Let's hope that if that happens. Take care, everyone, and we will see you tonight at 3 o'clock. And I'm trying to find the stream ending screen, and I can't find it, which is an absolute... Oh, my goodness. I'm an idiot on that one. But, yeah, take care, everyone, and we will see you at 3 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.